What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host, Gilly the Guru, coming live from the press box. Episode number 10. Coach G, what up?
Number 10, man. March Madness is in full effect. Been kind of stuck to the TV watching that shit. Never really realized how dope it is, but even though it's kind of not as popping as it used to be, I've been watching the last couple days. Has been watching a lot of college basketball. So
Who you got winning it?
I picked Duke. And then on the ladies, I picked Juju. I picked USC. So I guess just two of the two best players.
Yeah.
In each side. So I think it was just an easy pick. But my bracket is horrible. It's like
did you lose it right away?
Little under 50%. Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Little under 50%. And I was just looking at some of the people that are like some of the people from ESPN. Some of these guys are like 95% right.
Crazy, right?
That was crazy.
Yeah, I seen like after the first couple games, only like 1% of the brackets was still up.
Yeah, I guess there was 3 guys left.
Yeah,
3 guys left out of all the millions. Yeah,
that's so crazy. Like it's so crazy how March Madness, like you really never know what's gonna happen. The teams will just choke, buckle, like whatever it may be. But
yep.
It's so crazy. Any team could just win it, and the next game they could just totally just shit the bed.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Well, UConn. I was watching UConn this morning, and they were going against Florida. Florida was the number 1 seed. I believe UConn was at 8, but UConn was back to back the last couple of years, and they were in control the whole time. And then just Florida takes it at the end.
Yeah.
But it's tight because it's every day. Because even just watching USC playing. And she was just like, I did all right. Can't wait for the next game. Well, the next game's the next day.
Yeah.
So it's tight. And it's pretty cool because I was thinking, I remember when they were at the arena a few years back, 10 years back, whatever. But this year they're at Chase Center.
Yeah.
So that's dope. They're going to have it cracking over there.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Sweet 16.
Duke fucking annihilated Baylor by 20 today.
Yeah.
That team looks too strong, man. Cooper Flagg just looks dope, man, for being a freshman like he is. And
yeah, he looks like a good number 1 that if he goes out, he's going to be, he's going to be dope.
That's if he goes out. They're talking about he might come back, or he's strongly thinking about coming back again.
Yeah, that's dope because like now they're getting paid, so it doesn't hurt to stay back.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, why would you really want to leave? You're already making millions, right?
Yeah, but see, the difference is in football, it's different, right?
Yeah.
NBA, you're going to get paid right away.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to get to the NBA. I mean, maybe stick around your sophomore year.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to kind of stick around too long.
Yeah, I mean, NFL contracts compared to MLB or NBA contracts are just super crazy. Like,
yeah.
It's almost like these NFL guys get nothing compared to what these basketball and football. I mean,
you got to prove yourself.
Guys, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you got a couple proven players this year in free agency getting like a couple million. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
damn. I mean, even though it was 1-year deals, but it's like, in the past they prove, what they're worth. But nowadays, I mean, teams are just paying them pennies for what they really should be getting worth. But I mean,
yeah,
it is.
Some dudes are getting paid and some dudes are not.
Yeah,
just depends on the situation.
You still keeping track of the NFL free agency right now?
Yeah. The wide receivers from the Bengals got paid.
Jamar Chase and Higgins. Isn't that kind of weird? Do you think they franchised Higgins and a couple of days later just signed a real contract? Or
is that what happened?
Yeah, they franchise tagged him
first.
For $26 million. I mean, which is still a lot for 1 year, right? I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, after that, then they ended up paying him his massive contract.
Yeah, $100 million, right?
Yep.
Damn. I mean, how long are you gonna play games? Just sign your dudes and, go in there and compete. This is what you got.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty crazy how long they took to sign Higgins. I mean, they've been messing around with him for the past couple of years.
Yeah. I
mean, I don't know if they really wanted to take care of Chase first, make sure they had the proper numbers for him.
Yeah.
Then finally give Higgins, his massive contract. But I mean, him, Burrow, and Chase, I mean, they're taking up a huge percent of the salary for the Bengals though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard because they have no defensive players. I mean, they're like one of the worst teams in defense this year. I mean, it's just like this past year, their offense scored like 28, 35 a game, but teams are still beating them because they couldn't stop them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of teams were like that with no defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could go in and score so many points, but you're giving up so much also.
Yeah.
Jeez. It just depends on how you guys are holding down the salary cap and stuff like that. I mean, just even I heard this stat how 49ers still are one of the top teams odds wise to win the NFC.
Yeah.
It went Philly, Detroit, Washington, 49ers.
Yeah.
So even though they're losing guys, I seen a list of all the guys they're losing. There are a lot. Some starters, some not.
Yeah.
There was a big list. But they're still up there.
Yeah.
Because they do still have their core. They still have Purdy. McCaffrey should be coming back, right?
Yeah, they say he's 100% full go.
You have your wide receivers. You have they still have their left tackle, the bully. Yeah. So they still have him. Rams was number 5. So I just think maybe it's just how you're running the cap and how you're able to pay your guys and still compete. Like looking at Philadelphia, it's losing a lot of guys, losing Slay and losing Garner Johnson. Even though they were able to get, keep the linebacker, they're going to have to go all in on the draft and try to fulfill all their needs through the draft, and just have your legit offense that's already set up, your line's already there, and you're going young on defense.
I mean, that's what kind of how we already kind of prepared all Eagles fans for, right? Like, we're gonna be young. We're gonna start the young guys, and it is what it is. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's where they have like 20-something picks though, or something like that, or for the next.
I guess they do have a lot of picks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's his philosophy. I mean, if you hit, it's great, but at the same time, it's like a gift and a curse. You hit, then you got to pay everybody at the same time too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's every year is going to be a classic 2 or 3 that's got to get paid.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of hard to keep everybody at the same time. But if you hit somebody on one of those rookie contracts and they're there for the next couple of years, I mean, that's good because I mean, you still have a team chemistry, things to build off of.
You got to just stick with that window.
Yeah.
You got to just stick with that window. And it's like you got to pay. They had to pay those 2 dudes, man.
Yeah,
they had to pay those 2 guys.
Yeah, you were talking about the Niners. Just like everybody, it seems like defensively, they lost a lot of people from the defense. That offensive core, like you said, is still together though. I mean, besides Debo, pretty much everybody else is there.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you think Debo is going to be really missed, or do you think they're still the wheels could keep on turning?
I mean, when you think of McCaffrey and Kittle. And then your wide receiver core is still really good. They're going to be putting up points, I think. And then with their good coaching, offensive coordinators legit, I think they're going to be back in the mix. It's just what a weird division now. I mean, the Rams, is probably going to still be threatening to be first place. But after just kind of thinking about it over these last 2 weeks, I thought 49ers were like totally in the cellar. But, I mean, they still have their guys. They still have, all their whole core. And it's just their defense is going to be question marks, but we'll see what these guys put together.
Yeah, I think they'll probably have a better chance with Robert Saleh coming back and just being a D coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's actually a legit coordinator. So, I mean, let's see if he can grab a couple guys to plug and play. And because, I mean, you have to fill in some pretty big shoes with Greenlaw. You know what I mean? He was really good. I mean, I don't know how easy it is to go in and find a linebacker to plug in there, and especially in that division.
Yeah, I
mean, because they have pretty legit players in that position. Speaking of legit players, Cooper Kupp signed with the Seattle Seahawks. What do you think that was? Was that kind of weird to you?
I mean, this whole season's been weird, right? Like growing up, you never really got to see guys leaving so much. Like we got to see it with the NBA, how the big 3, you kind of putting your team together. They all go on vacation and they talk about what we're going to do next free agency, and they put their teams together. I mean, now you're just seeing, Seattle, they go and deal Geno, get rid of DK. They don't have Lockett no more. And then they get who would they get? Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold quarterback.
So they basically let's get rid of Geno. Let's try Sam Darnold, and let's get rid of DK, and let's get Cooper Kupp. Yeah, So I mean, I feel like they're going to compete again. The running backs still same guys.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
they actually, I just read actually today. They said that Pete Carroll actually called about Walker. For the trade, but I think they didn't go through. I think Pete was trying to just get players comfortable with, and
what a difference a couple weeks makes. From them getting rid of their quarterback and their number one wide receiver, and then also Lockett's another number one, and then they go and had a plan. They had a plan.
Do you think when that's happening, like, of course all these teams have a plan, but what if that plan goes to shit? I mean, okay, we go send off Geno, right? Okay, we got Sam Darnold. What if that didn't happen? Then what do you really do?
Yeah, then they're nowhere in the mix to get any of the top three quarterbacks, right?
Yeah,
they're not in that mix, so they're probably relying on they had money to either get Rodgers, or Sam Darnold. That was the only guys, right? Or, that. Yeah, what a weird.
Right?
I think maybe that's just what they seen of Geno. Like, yo, we're good. We seen what we got. Let's go try something else. Darnold did well with the 49ers, and then he goes, last year, and they just fizzled out.
Do you believe Aaron Rodgers showed enough last year for teams to go ahead and kick the tires on him and try to still get him, or do you think it's just a weird situation, bring kind of problems, and just?
I thought it was a big letdown. I thought he was going to be able to go in there and especially after being injured the whole year.
Yeah.
Right. So it was all that hype. He gets injured, and then he came out. I feel like the Jets have a lot of weapons. Those dudes that they have, those young guys. The rookie, the young running back and the young wide receiver, and then he gets his boy traded over there, and I don't know what was up. I don't know if it's like, is he finally getting old? It's hard. It's hard to kind of kick the tires on him right now. Do
you think that could have been just a offensive coordinator type of thing that wasn't meshing with them? And
yeah, that could be.
Could be, because I seen yesterday that he was actually at the Steelers practice facility, and they said he had a meeting over there for like 5 to 7 hours, and they said it was a good meeting.
Yeah,
but they said that's the front runner for him to be at over in Pittsburgh. So it'll be Pittsburgh, DK. I mean, they got Pickens. Running back wise, they lost Najee, but I'm pretty sure they always go plug in a good running back over there and run the ball. But
Najee went to the Chargers, huh?
He went to the Chargers, yeah.
Wow.
The Chargers are slowly or quietly creating a little roster over there.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I know Big Mike Williams ended up going back over there now too.
Yeah.
So I mean that's good. Got Najee, still got Herbert.
Well, going back to the odds, when I was listening to the 49ers were the number 4 and to win the NFC, the Chargers were number 5 to win the AFC. It's the Bills. I think it was the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. Number 4, I forgot who number 4 was, but number 5 was Chargers creeping up. They're slowly creeping up.
Yeah, they slowly got to put together a nice little roster. I mean, you still got
Cincinnati was number 4.
Yeah,
number 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still got Harbaugh over there. I mean, he still got his feet wet last year with a new team, and I mean, they look better from what they had in the previous couple of years. So it's only gonna be better. But I mean, that the whole division of the AFC West is gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah,
everybody look good. I mean, and the Broncos stacked on defense.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be monsters. I mean, they're already pretty legit with without their new additions, but now they got Greenlaw, they got Hufanga too from the Niners. I mean,
yeah,
and like I said, we said before, Bo Nix actually looked really good at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And look, he looked really comfortable.
Yeah, he started putting up the numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, man, too bad the Raiders didn't get that, that linebacker and the 2 guys from 49ers, right?
Yeah, it seemed like it was a weird thing with the Raiders that they got like the free agency, they got a bunch of just like kind of like veterans I think they're just veterans for.
But they had a lot of money to work with, right?
Yeah, they did have a lot of money to work with, but I think I mean they paid Max Crosby that huge contract, so that took quite a chunk. But I think they're just getting a bunch of vets that at a low cost, and hopefully they could just ball out or at least give them some decent time.
Yeah,
and trying to just grow from there. Yeah, they didn't really pull no trigger on anybody really big at all. I think they're slow, just kind of just building.
So they might have another rough year. I mean, with Denver getting deep, Chargers getting deep.
Yeah.
Maybe Kansas City takes a little step back, but they're still going to be, the favorites to win the West.
Yeah.
The favorites to go to the Super Bowl. So,
yeah.
Damn.
I thought Pete Carroll would kind of bring in more players or whatnot, but like I said, he's unless there's a game plan, just play it like it is how they're playing it now, and kind of rebuild for this year, trying to get just a little better than the year after that.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Yeah,
it's been a wild free agency, man. I think a lot of things didn't really make sense to me. Like Stephon Diggs still doesn't have a team. He's still out there.
Yeah,
he could either go back to the Bills. That said Bills are on his radar.
Did he take a step back at all?
I mean, he had the injury, ACL injury. So I mean,
yeah,
who knows how he's gonna come back after that? But he's still young, though. You know
I
what I
wonder
mean?
what kind of money he's asking. And Tyler Lockett, is he out there still?
He's still out there too.
Damn, wonder where these guys are gonna go. They're gonna have to go to some team.
Yeah.
Patriots loaded up, huh?
Yeah. Patriots are slowly loading up. I think they're still looking for another receiver too. Like I was saying, Diggs was linked to them because I mean I think they're fully going in on Drake May. They think that he's the dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird how they're gonna be, and they got Vrabel, right?
Yep, Vrabel at coach now.
That was like a silent hiring. I don't even know he got hired over there.
He got hired like instantly.
Really?
Yeah. I think they just.
It seemed like it was a matter of time where he was gonna be coaching there, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought he was gonna get the job before the guy Mayo got it last time.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be Vrabel's job.
Yeah.
But they made him sit a year, and they got that dude out of there.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked up how they did that dude though. They didn't really. He had absolutely nothing to work with. I mean, they just. I don't know if that was the plan. It's kind of like they did to Antonio Pierce, right? Throw him in there. He had nothing to work with. He had no quarterback, and they just cut him after. Like,
well, I mean, with Pierce, it was like whenever you get the guy who's like the intern guy, and it's like, damn, they always go on their little run, and it's like it's one of those runs where they're just, it's not luck, but it's like, we ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, now we got to keep this guy.
Yeah.
And they kept him, because it was like one of the homies, but it was just the next year. It was like, all right, let's get this guy out of here. We gave him a shot. I think that's what it more of was.
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't see him lasting too long at all.
Nah. It was I think once Brady came in the picture, that's when I knew like this dude's out of here. Because I mean, I know Brady's not going to put up with this dude forever. You know what I mean? He's not going to last another 2-3 years with him. Hell no.
Yeah.
Like Brady wants a legitimate, like a real coach.
Was Pete Carroll retired for a while?
Yeah. So actually, I don't know. I don't know if he actually retired or he just didn't have a team. Actually.
Or just he was out a couple years.
He was out. I believe 2 years.
Huh.
But
damn.
It still looks like same with Pete though. He still gets all fired up and looks like he's ready to go. That's pretty cool to see, man.
Yeah, it is, man. Free agencies when? April. I mean, the draft is when?
NFL draft actually starts Thursday, April 24th.
Thursday, April 24th.
Yeah,
wow, got a long way.
Yeah, it is a long way.
Damn. So, I mean, mostly by then, those guys get signed, right? All the leftover free agents?
Yeah, they're pretty much, especially with the ones with the bigger names like Diggs or whatnot. I see them signing in the next couple of weeks to at least 2 more weeks.
You know who's been quiet is the Colts. I feel like
it's kind of weird that they the whole situation with their quarterback.
It's like a random team, but I feel like they're getting better with that quarterback. I thought the quarterback was going to be, the dude. Then he just had a rough year.
Yeah,
right? Had a rough year. But they have a running back. They have a good coach.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one.
They have pretty decent receiving core too.
Like, are they gonna take a step forward? Because what's their division? That's what the
AFC South.
AFC
So
South.
they're with the Texans.
Texans.
Who's in that division?
So that's a winnable division right there. Texans, Titans.
Yeah, Texans, Titans, Colts, and who's the other team?
Or Jaguars.
Oh yeah, it is Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
It is Jaguars. Yeah.
So that's. I mean, if they just step their shit up, they should be winning that division easy.
Yeah.
Because the Titans, they've been shitty for a minute.
See, that's the thing. Like, I wonder who the Titans are going to get in the draft. Because are they going to go quarterback? Or are they going to go Travis Hunter?
I don't know.
That's kind of scary. And like you
Cam
said, that whole
Ward.
division's wide open. Because now that I think about it, I know those teams have a defense. Like,
yeah,
all those teams are pretty much the same.
yeah.
The division is kind of just like open.
Maybe it might be Trevor's year.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate their new coach. You see that guy? I don't even know his name. I forgot where he came from, but I just hate that guy. I can't stand to look at him. He looks super young too, like in early 30s. I don't know how old he actually is, but
man, when Trevor Lawrence was at Clemson, was he win his freshman year? I thought this guy was going to be the next guy.
And
and you end up going to an organization like that, you kind of get screwed.
Yeah, that's why I think it kind of sucks being a top pick. I mean, you're gonna go sucky team, and then are you gonna suck forever? Like,
yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, if he was on a decent team, he'd be good, right? I mean, he wouldn't be sacked 90 times a game, and yeah, I think that situation just sucks. Because I mean, you either gonna excel or you're just gonna fucking suck.
Do like the Eli Manning or Drew Brees type thing or John Elway thing. You say, I'm not playing for that team.
I think that's going to happen with Shador. I think if he goes somewhere that his dad doesn't like
the Browns.
Yeah, he don't want fucking Cleveland.
Yeah, I think he already said something like that.
That's like a death wish.
I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
What are they thinking with the quarterback they got? Oh, Deshaun, my God. Yeah, that was a big fall. Right there, yeah.
They traded so much and they gave him so much fucking money for.
Damn.
Yeah,
now they don't even. Oh, he's injured.
Yeah, right? he got injured. Yeah, that's bad. But you see, Jameis Winston went to the Giants,
and that just yeah. So you just basically get him over there to be like your motivational guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Oh no!
So he's gonna be like the motivation to like Shador or like
yeah.
Actually, I seen a lot of people actually drafting Cam Ward before everybody. Like a lot of mock drafts.
Really?
They're saying Cam Ward's gonna go within the first two.
Damn.
Which I think is right because I think he's the best out of this class.
I'm wondering how he's gonna do. Is he gonna be? I don't really get to see him this year. Highlights wise,
No.
What are they comparing him to anything?
I haven't seen really much comparison.
Is he like
dude, he's accurate. He throws the ball hard.
Is he a big guy?
It's not like huge, but I mean he's a standard quarterback.
Like Jalen Hurts type player, Lamar or Bryce Young.
He stands in the pocket. I mean, the dude has the most touchdowns in NCAA history. I mean, he has experience.
He has an arm.
Yeah, he has an arm. Dude has a cannon. Dude, like he's experienced too. He's played all 3-4 years in college.
Yeah.
So I mean,
was he at Miami the whole time?
No, he bounced around. I forgot where I forgot what college he came from, but he was at Miami last year.
He dipped over there.
Yeah, and the dude was phenomenal. I mean, he's great. I like him. I like him a lot. I think if I had a chance, that would be my quarterback.
So he's gonna go right away.
Yeah, top 3 for sure. Top 3 for sure.
And they're saying he's the number 1 quarterback before.
Yeah, a lot of people actually placing him over Shador, Dart, all the other guys. So yeah, pretty cool. You hear about the rule changes that people are talking about?
What's the rules?
So actually, the Eagles actually presented a rule that the overtime rule should be the same in regular season as it is in overtime, where no sudden death and both teams should be able to get the ball and try to score. Do Do you think that would be a good switch to pull over in the regular season, or do you think it should just be man up, and just get the game over with?
Yeah, because if the first team scores a touchdown, it's ball game.
Yeah, that's how it is now.
And in the playoffs, if the other team scores a touchdown, the other team gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like might as well keep it that way. Right? Keep it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How the playoffs does it.
Yeah, I think that's a good change if they were to change it.
Yeah.
I think it would bring more excitement. Like I said, you just never know in a regular season. I mean, that one that one overtime game could change everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair enough when both teams get a shot.
Yeah.
Even though you guys are pros, right, or whatever. You guys are supposed to stop the other team, but sometimes it doesn't happen. I mean, I think giving the shot to both offenses to try to stop. I mean, both offense trying to score, both defense trying to stop. I think that's a pretty cool rule.
I'm trying to think. Do I just like sudden death though? You kick the ball off, and they got to march downfield and kick a field goal to win. If you stop them, you get the punt, and then you go win.
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't that good enough? Because like so and so didn't get the ball.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you got to think about who's changing it though. The Eagles want to change it. Like,
yeah,
a team that probably didn't have that problem, right? Yeah. I mean, they could probably just push it from the fucking 50 and win a game.
And why don't they do it the college way? Was there a disadvantage for that?
I think the college way should be in the NFL. I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Where you have to go for two after.
Yeah, then you have to go for two. Yeah, the college way.
I think that's pretty cool. But I don't know why that never got adopted. I think they try to separate it, but I think it's pretty cool how they do it though.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard this one, but like instead of doing an onside kick, let's say you'd be at your 20 and the end zone behind you, and instead of doing the onside kick, it's 4th and 20.
Yeah, they were trying to present that too. So
that was the thing.
So if you did get the 4th and 20, then you still get the ball.
Like, you get the ball.
Yeah, first down. Yeah.
First down.
Yeah.
And if not, it's their ball.
Their ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. But you think that's kind of easy to stop though? Like 4th and 20, like
yeah.
I think you got a better chance of getting an onside kick than going for a 4th and 20. Or
4th and 20 is hard.
Because
but how many times have you seen in your lifetime the damn onside kick work? Not much. Once every 3-4 years. When does it actually matter? Where you get the score the touchdown, get the onside kick. Like, we're doing it all day in Madden, right? Like,
I think your advantage of the 4th and 20 is a pass interference, right?
As a PI.
So I think you kind of have to create that.
Yeah.
Create for that to happen. Like, get a PI, kind of just lob it up there, and I mean at the same time that doesn't work though, because how many times on Hail Marys do you see an actual like pass interference? And those guys are pushing the whole time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It should be every Hail Mary should technically be like a PI.
Yeah, they let them fly.
Yeah, they just let them fly because it's basically like 3 flies up. You know?
Yeah, they're not going to be pulling the trigger on pass interference on the 1st and 4th and 20. They're letting them play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. So in my head though, I'd rather go ahead and if that's not the case, if they're going to treat it like a Hail Mary and just nothing's going to happen, I'd rather just go with the onside kick.
Well, why don't these kickers they should be putting in enough work to be able to kick a ball and it knuckle off a guy's helmet or knuckle off some guy's chest protector.
I seen them lay it sideways. I seen them place it all kinds of different ways. It seems like nothing ever really works. Yeah. It's all just up to the guy catching it.
Think about though, like they got kids winning slam dunk coming from the D League. There's got to be like, dude, these guys are doing some special stuff online.
Yeah.
Like you can't get $1 million pro kicker to learn how to kick this ball and make it squig where it just blank, clank. Like think about it. The wide receivers are getting paid to catch the ball.
Yeah.
The cornerbacks are horrible at catching the ball.
Yeah.
Tight ends are like linemen. You got the hands team, but you can't just get sophisticated enough where you're just putting some English on that ball.
Yeah.
I don't like the 4th and 20. I want the onside kick.
That's what I'm saying.
Because then you got guys running at you. Because if you have a pro team going against a high school team, and the pro team's doing the onside kick, they're getting that ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just the difference of level of competition.
Yeah.
So I think you got to just somehow be able to coach it out of these, and maybe put more time into special teams.
That's I think you're right about that. I think it's the same thing goes for the actual kickers too.
Yeah.
Why can't they make a field goal?
Yeah.
Especially this year. This year was bad.
It was a lot worse.
A lot of even veterans that are pretty much money.
Yeah.
Missing, and it's like.
Well, all year I wanted Jake Elliott to be out of there, because he was missing all through the year. 0 for 50, 0 for over 50 yards. And then, even the playoffs, he missed some, and me and G were talking a lot of times ones where like Saquon would bust the 70 and he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you're getting in the red zone, you see the kicker kicking on the side. Well, now you're scoring from the 40 on the other side of the 50. And then now you got to run up there and go kick this field goal and then shank. So it'd be a Saquon 60-yarder. And then he just missed a field goal.
6 points.
But yeah, and then he goes in the Super Bowl and has to re-kick him, and he just busting them through there. So, are they getting lazy? Because that's got to be the worst, losing a game over a kicker.
Yeah.
But
that's that's always thing too. Like, dude, you guys you literally see me in practice all the time. All I do is fucking kick.
Yeah.
And it's like when it comes to these big games,
even watching the Super Bowl, like going watching it again, there was times where Elliott was going up and it's a 7-0 game. I think he makes it 10-0. He misses that at the 40. Now you just gave Patty the ball back. It could be a different game. You never know.
Yeah.
These games always can go just one way. And then, just because of that interception from Coop, or the interception from Zach Bond or whatever. Well, that doesn't happen. He misses the field goal. Now momentum's going the other way. You never know. And for you just to be able just to hope the kicker comes through was a lot of nuts. Because throughout the season, I was thinking they got to maybe have just somebody extra. Mm-hmm. But you're not having an extra kicker on your roster. Mm-hmm. You need all those guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Would they say Janikowski would be – he would say if he practiced – the more he practiced, the worse he got. So I'm going to just go play golf. So that was his excuse.
Golf and wine. A recipe for success, man.
Yeah. Damn.
What do you watch in the past year of football? What do you see the most valuable position was this year?
Oh, man. I feel like the running back came back. I feel like it was back to feeding the running back the ball, to kind of getting everything going, and I just notice, and what keeps you in the loop of just watching all these players that kept me is when we started playing fantasy football, starting to know all these other players, you're starting to see what's scoring, who's scoring, and all that other stuff. And I felt like in the beginning, it was a lot of just running backs were just going, the running backs are scoring. And then all of a sudden it was just, CeeDee Lambs and Chases and, wide receivers were going. And I felt like this year was the year where the wide receivers, they go off, but it wasn't, I feel like it was a more of maybe it was a little bit neutral where the running backs got a little bit better. Wide receivers didn't get used as heavy. But there was a lot of it more stock on, staying with the run, and when we were growing up, it was always just, establish the run, and then it opens up, the pass play. But with everything being so, every coach being so good, maybe it's not that simple no more, and maybe it's not that, coaches don't have the patience to stick with the run when you're down by so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like more coaches just kind of stuck with their game plan and kept handing off the ball. and the run game was back in the mix.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you're right. But I also think that the running backs are valued so much, or there was a period where they're not valued as much
Right.
as like when we're younger.
Yeah.
Is because the offense has changed.
Yeah.
Like the pro style offense is kind of almost non-existent really no more, right? A lot of teams are in shotgun. A lot of offensive coordinators are kind of feeding into like these almost like college systems, right?
Yeah.
Where the shotgun, motions,
Yeah.
all this other shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's what gives the receivers a lot of action nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all this RPO being installed now. I mean, run pass. I mean,
I think that I wonder if that's holding back, you know, some offenses like Jalen. You know, he can't get under center. You know, so I wonder if there's quarterbacks that are running the pistol and running under center the pro offenses. I wonder if there's some quarterbacks that don't feel comfortable under center. You know, because there's going to be quarterbacks that can do both.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be able to do both, and they have to. But it seems like some of them are not comfortable being under center, and they want to be just standing back, and the ball just gets plopped in.
Yeah.
You know, and don't you think that's harder for the running back?
As far as being,
because like if you're under center, you're hiking the ball, you're walking back, you're handing the ball and the running back's kind of like going forward. Now it's just you're getting hiked and he's just handing you the ball.
Yeah.
Kind of no momentum going. Like that had to been new probably for Saquon. Right? Do you think Danny Dimes was Daniel Jones? Do you think he was?
I think they kind of had a little shotgun going on over there. So
yeah.
I think he was okay with it. I mean, over there at Penn State, I think they ran a pro style offense, right? I don't think they're that much.
That's more downhill.
Yeah.
Right? You're just downhill.
Yeah, it was just like basically like an old school Patriot Tom Brady offense.
Yeah.
Him under center, turn around, hike it, and
yeah. You're stepping back and boom, and then he's coming forward, right?
Yeah.
But now it's just hiking to you.
Hiking, everything's just counter this way.
Yeah.
Going that way. I mean, it's you know, it's like I said, it's more of just a college system now.
Right.
But you know, going back to the question, I think this year, you know, the value of the running back definitely went up. But also I think we've seen a huge even jump for defensive line. I think defensive lines, I mean, just matter so much now. I mean, we've seen it firsthand in the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
I mean, the defensive line only took 4 guys to take down the whole team. You know, and that's all it took. Those 4 guys to take down that whole fucking monster of a team.
Yeah.
And they couldn't block for Patty, and Patty just turned into fucking Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't do anything. I mean, and I just think I think more teams are just gonna keep on trying to improve their defensive line, man. I mean,
well, they say that this draft class is D-line heavy, very, very heavy. So if don't miss, right, like you know, you're gonna have an opportunity to go get a couple guys to, you know, fill in the gaps. You know, and these, I mean, think about it. Like you got all these teams in college. 50-man rosters or however man rosters they have, and you're able to pick, you know, the top 100 kids or so many, you know, and you got D tackles that are just legit, you know, and you're able to pick them, 2 or 3 of them, some offensive linemen, you know, best kids coming out of school, you know.
But, you know, I was thinking right now, like, how do you think GMs feel like when they go for a reach and it's a total miss? Like they had like, because you always see like years before like so and so got picked before so and so, you know what I mean, and like so and so's a fucking star now. Like, you know, he should have been picked, but teams went for a reach.
Yeah,
you think GMs are like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, I mean those are ones that it could probably eat at you.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I'm just the lowest level of like coaching Little League. You remember just like, man, I picked that kid. You know, how did I not pick that kid? You know, and it's now that's just a Little League season. Now you're talking about NFL. You know, you're talking about players that are getting compared.
Yeah.
You know, your whole fan base is saying BG. You know, Brandon Graham, who just retired. I guess the first 4 or 5 years was Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
They could have had Earl Thomas instead of Brandon Graham. And, 2 Super Bowls later, 15 years, most players played as an Eagle, they got their money's worth. But for the first 3-4 years, they didn't want him there.
Yeah.
And so you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that hype as a player. But yeah, I mean, think about that. There's the YouTube video of when Philadelphia gets Rager.
Oh, Jalen Rager?
Yeah. Over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Right? And just think, I mean, who knows if Carson Wentz still is an Eagle and it's Carson and Jefferson and he never gets hurt and they never win a Super Bowl. Who knows if that's that route, but yeah, man, that's got to eat at you if you don't, if Howie doesn't win a Super Bowl with Philly, wins 2 of them, that's everyone's talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's like I even feel a certain type of way when I'm in like fantasy football, and after I look at my roster, I'm like, what the fuck did I pick these guys?
Yeah.
And this is like, and I see this player go, oh fuck, I should have fucking picked him. I think even like you took fucking Brock Bauer before me,
right?
And I was about to pick him, and
and
boom, you end up getting him. I was like, fuck, dude, like you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like, but I think no, I think I actually picked Kelsey. I took Kelsey first, then you picked up Brock. And then in my head, I'm thinking, what the fuck did I do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but I think you're just trying to just go with Old Faithful. You know what I mean? Like, it's Kelsey. He's going to do okay.
Yeah.
But he sucked 75% of the year, and Brock was over here making history. You know what I mean?
History, yeah.
So that's fucking crazy. But to me, it's like, and now I'm thinking, these guys are doing this in real life, though.
Yes.
You know, like making mistakes, putting their whole name and career to make a mistake. You know what I mean? It's so crazy.
That's got to be a hard job because, I mean, after you get fired, how many chances do you get? I mean, maybe like the coach, I guess it's the same thing, but how do these guys, they get their one shot and you become a champion and you're a hero forever?
Just think about it. Like, how many gyms have you heard of getting fired and getting a new job?
I mean, they're never talked about.
They're never talked about, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like this guy is it's more of like this coach is fired with this GM.
Yeah.
And they're
right.
And they have nowhere to go now, and so they end up going somewhere else.
Right.
But you never hear of like they fired this GM and he has a job again.
He has another job. Yeah.
I think it partly is one of the most hardest jobs in the NFL because I mean
to keep. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're the one running the whole shebang.
Because like the Philly Howie Roseman. He was there with Andy Reid, and then I want to say like when Chip Kelly came, Chip Kelly ran everything, and he had to step back, and then he gets them back after Chip Kelly's gone, But that was almost being fired, and he just kind of just stuck around. I mean, sometimes it depends who you're getting, because like you're saying, sometimes the coach brings a general manager, but sometimes the general manager comes from the owner. And it's kind of like, let's like work as a team, and sometimes that's when the owner kind of has a little bit of his hand in the pot a little too much when that's your guy, so yeah, no, that's a wild job, man.
Speaking of GMs and owners, when do you think Jerry Jones is going to finally just call it like, you know what, I need help, like, or do you think he's ever going to admit that he needs somebody to help him out?
I mean, we've seen Al Davis go to the end, right? You going on? That's coming from Al Davis tree right there. That's his Cowboys, that's his squad, and I'm rolling with how I did it. Even though I'm not changing through times, but that's how he's rocking.
But you think
he's going all the way to the end. Al Davis had his jumpsuit all the way to the end. And that's how he's going to do it. I mean, yeah, he has his kids, and his kids are a little bit more involved compared to Al Davis and Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Right? Like Mark Davis was the guy in the, P.F. Chang's getting fucked up at the bar. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he got inherited a team. Now he's the man in Vegas.
That's nutty.
It's crazy.
Nutty.
But now, I mean, with the Cowboys, he already kind of has his son in line, so well, maybe when his sons has the balls to tell him like, "Yo, let me handle it," but I don't think they have the nuts to say that.
You don't think anybody's came to him? Like even somebody in the organization that,
well, like Michael Irvin or Troy Aikman.
Yeah,
I think they've
somebody.
already. I feel like they've already moved on past that. They ain't no way of getting through all that.
I mean, at some point, like, he's getting old, right? Like, I mean, sooner or later he's unfortunate, but he's gonna pass away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometime in the future.
Yeah.
But before that, though, you know, he probably wants to see his team win, right?
Right.
Like, and then he just wants to win by his own way. Like, he doesn't want anybody to step in. Like, that's just nuts, man. If you think, to me, it's just fucking nuts when you think about it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they won. You know, I'm just thinking about how dope it would kind of be. I hate to say it, where the Cowboys are in the playoffs or NFC Championship game, where you know it's Philly versus Cowboys to go play the Niners in the NFC Championship game. Winner of those guys play the Niners. You know, but now it's Washington. You know, and the Lions. They ought to be going crazy about that.
Yeah.
You know?
And one chance they had a chance to win, Tony Romo fumbles it, man.
I remember that. Like, I was with all my cousins. I was in Modesto. Oh, my cousin's a Cowboy fan, and he booted that ball. That ball slipped out of his hands. And he was being you know what? Damn him for still wanting to do that job. You know, because he was like a backup.
Yeah.
You know, he was a backup and he ends up getting that job. And then you still want to be the placeholder?
The placeholder, yep.
You know, like, no, dude, your job is to go put on your jacket, drink some Gatorade, and look at the board and look at your computer. Instead, you're going out there and kicking the field. Your job's done already. Your job's done. You're not seeing Marino holding that ball. You're not seeing Montana. No one's doing that.
Nope.
You know, but you know what? I'm going to be the one of one. And then sure enough, you fucking draw. There's a guy that they pay to do that job. And you took his job. You know, like, where's the next guy at? You know, and I bet you the next guy is damn good.
Well, but it was Romo's job, right?
It was his job, but he was the starter now.
Yeah. But I was saying, yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I'm going into that season, you know, I mean, I catch on to these things. So probably going into that season, he was maybe been the starter for at least 6 games, you know, where there's another guy to come in. Hey, we need a backup that can hold the ball. You know, I don't need my quarterback's fingers getting broken, you know, in a snowy game. You know, I do that. Those are memories I'll never forget. You know, that ball just slipped out of his hand. And then he picked it up and tried to run. Oh, my God.
How much do you think that hurts him right now?
I pray for those days.
How much do you think that hurts him still?
I mean, every time you see a field goal with any kind of meaning, it goes through his head again. Has to. You know, has to. Because, I mean, I feel like I don't even remember divisional game, NFC. I don't even know where they were at in the playoffs. But I feel like they were rolling. You know, You know, I would like to see what, when, and where. Like, did Tom Brady win that Super Bowl? You know,
honestly,
it'd be nice to see.
I don't remember what year that was.
Was that like a, you know, I feel like it was a McNabb time. You know, so was that like the Rams? You know, Kurt Warner. You know, was that year?
The greatest show on turf?
Yeah. Because I felt like, oh, God, those are the days. Because that might have been the season, because that's right around the year when Philadelphia buckled against Gruden and the Buccaneers beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl. So I wonder if it's around that time.
So Tony Romo actually dropped that fumble that snap in 2007 versus Seahawks. Then the New York Giants actually went on to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Against the Patriots.
So many, those are opportunities that they should have won. Oh my goodness. 2007. Wow.
You know what, Gia? Switching over to sports real quick. The Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
16-3 run right now.
Right.
Since they had Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
You see them 6th seed right now. To be with you, be honest with you. Do you see them making a big playoff push, or do you think they not quite there yet?
Yeah, I like their chances. Adding Butler, that just kind of thinks about like they gave Clay and they gave Wiggins so much opportunities and where they try to make it work when they were able just to go get that kind of caliber to upgrade their team so much. Where I mean, it's just big difference, where it's just not. It was man, it's a lot on Clay, though. I mean, a lot on Steph. I mean, it was just a lot on Steph, where if Clay doesn't come through or Wiggins is not coming through, Jimmy Butler, man, I mean, he's been kind of holding his side of the bargain, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if it's going to be enough because it looks like they're gassing out. Draymond put a lot on saying that, they're going to win it. I like their confidence. I think they might fall short this year, but just even thinking, even if they add anybody more, they add some more pieces to this team, I think this team could at least compete, for a couple more years, because the way it was looking like, man, is Steph going to kind of, fizzle out on his own with Draymond and, no one wants to come over here. Maybe they get LeBron and it's just like the old guys, but Butler came over here with, signing, whatever and signing the new contract and they have him 2 years. He's going to be happy. And it's going to be kind of dope to see who can eliminate them because it's going to take some daggers to do it. Is it going to be youth? Is it going to be the old cats that do it? Is it going to be the young guys from the East like the Cavaliers? Is it going to be the old Celtics? It's exciting, man. I mean, even same thing, same thing that I'm saying with them. It's kind of same thing with, the Lakers. I would say just Golden State a little bit more because of just, of Steph. But it's just like, man, dude's so good too. Luka's so good and LeBron is like ageless, so who's gonna put the dagger out on those dudes? So we're just lucky we get to watch this shit.
Yeah, I know.
We're able to watch this shit and as long as it was, I'm thinking, man, remember when the Lakers and the Golden State would have to play the play-in game and we would only get one game of that. And they make the play-in game for that reason because sometimes the West is so deep. You got a Lakers or you got a Golden State Warriors that are at the 9-10 spot. And instead of them being home, let's do a play-in game. In the last couple of years, it was Golden State or LeBron and they're going head to head or, Golden State's going against Sacramento, and now they're able to kind of hopefully get in that top 6 where we're gonna be, guaranteed, a 7-game series of who's gonna knock out the Lakers, who's gonna knock out the Warriors, and then you got, how the Cavaliers gonna do it, how are the OKC and Houston gonna do it, I know it's getting over talked about where it's always just Warriors and the Lakers. But it's like those other teams got to prove themselves, and it's gonna be dope seeing these teams go at it because there's times when you'd be the 1 seed or the 2 seed, and you gotta be like, man, we gotta play the 8 seed that's hot, the 7 seed that's hot, Well, now some of these teams like OKC and Houston that are trying to set their name. They gotta go and beat the Warriors one round, and then the Lakers the next round, and then Houston to get to the finals, and if you think about it, that's just how teams in the past that won championships. That's how they were able to get to the top of the mountain, where you had to knock out the old teams that's been there, So Yeah, man, it's nothing new. They've always talked about the old teams that won, and Golden State Warriors been there, Cavaliers been there when they had LeBron. You know, they're always talking about the other teams that were always there, the Miami Heats or the Lakers, and then they're just Golden State Warriors. They're going to live by the gun, die by the gun. And then once the Warriors finally conquered that mountain, now they deserve to get that chat, you know, until they're getting wiped off the planet, you know, by these newer teams. These new teams got to earn it. It's not, you don't win a championship just, you know, having the best record.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same thing with Golden State when it was the 73-9.
Yeah,
and then losing to the Cavs and
in
the finals. I mean, but yeah. I think it's the same thing that you were just saying. These young teams, I mean, they don't have the experience when it comes down to these playoff games because the NBA is probably one of the funnest sports to watch in the playoffs.
Yeah,
every game is just so intense.
Yeah,
fourth quarters are just nuts all the time. I mean, that's really when these superstars show up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
yeah,
I think those teams like the Cavs and you know, the Thunder, definitely great teams right now. But when it comes to those moments, I don't know if they're gonna the lights gonna be too bright for them. Yeah, you know what I mean, when you got someone like Curry over here, I mean, everybody's seen what he did in the Olympics.
Yeah,
mattered most. Fourth quarter, it was. I mean, everyone's ever seen that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same thing with Luka, with LeBron. I mean, like you said, what team's really gonna beat them in 7 games?
Right.
And if they are, it's gonna be fucking tough, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, I don't care what team it is. If it's the Nuggets, Thunder, it's gonna be tough because you know those guys. LeBron's gonna give you 25. Luka's gonna give you 30 plus, possibly. I mean, those guys. And they still got a couple more weeks till the playoffs to keep on gelling.
Yeah.
And I think the Lakers really took people by surprise right now.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody kind of wrote them off for the season.
Yeah.
You know, trading AD, and you know, it was a big mistake. I was so happy they got rid of AD. I think that was the biggest. That's what they've been needing the whole time.
Right.
And now, I mean, they have other role players stepping up. Rui's about to come back, and I think everybody's gonna be all right. But I think they are gonna make a nice little run, though, man. I mean, at least to the Western Conference, man. I think they're gonna pull it together.
Yeah, it's gonna be cracking once that gets started, man. It's gonna be cracking.
I would love to see the Lakers and the Warriors play.
Jeez.
That'd be great to see. That'd be a great series.
Battle for California.
One more question, but we had it out here, George. A lot of people saying that Steph Curry has entered the greatest of all time chat. Do you believe that?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. You know, I think he's up there with the best shooter, you know, but being up there as the greatest of all time, I mean, we're lucky to kind of see him these last, you know, so many years he's been there, you know, and for him to kind of work his ass off to be where he's at is kind of like the route of a pro athlete, you know, of, man, that's the way you go about it, you know. But being up there with Jordan and LeBron and Kobe, you know, and you got Kareems and Magic Johnsons and those dudes, he's in that mix, you know, top 10, you know, outside of, you know, from 5 to 10. But, you know, it's hard to say, man, he's really good, though. You know, I mean, maybe, you know, it sucks because to me, Jordan's just there by himself. And then you got LeBron and Kobe. You know, I kind of think I like Kobe before LeBron, personally. That's where I'm at. But it's just like, even if I would just say, you know, to me, Steph's up there with like LeBron. You know, it's just LeBron's just so freakish, you know, of like, man, how do you not start your franchise with that type of player? You know, that's a guy that you would pick and you would have no regrets at all. You know, Steph Curry, you're going to be able to, you draft that guy and you're going to be able to see that amazing journey that this guy did. You know, LeBron already had it. So I don't know, man. It's hard to put him in the Jordan, you know.
Kobe
it's hard to put him
right?
in that talk, but it's like, I mean, he's up there. You know, he's in that mix.
I think shooting the ball and skills wise, he's probably hands down the best we've seen.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to the Jordan Kobe type of just dominating, like really, really dominating, I don't think you could put him right there. I mean, he dominates games, but I think Kobe and Jordan it's just like a different type though.
Yeah.
When they were in their prime, you know what I mean? It was really different.
I mean, it was just when we were watching Jordan play in the playoffs when we were kids, how we were able to watch it, whatever channel. It was like you wouldn't miss, and through NBA, you're like, okay, who's that next guy that's gonna be just so clutch in the playoffs and stuff like that. And to me, like Dwayne Wade was it for a little bit. We're like, man, dude, this guy kind of flashed like it, and then just Curry kind of became that guy. Where like every time he shot that ball, like it's going in. And that's something that like I didn't really see Kobe play a lot. And watching like LeBron like for all of his career, he was scared to take that final shot, but like Curry was that guy where he wants to take that shot, and seeing that, in the Olympics and seeing on these runs that the Warriors won, it did make us like kind of have those old Jordan feelings. If any of our kids that grew up and seen this, that's something I could say. Like, when you see Curry make that shot, like 3-point game winner or that dagger, that's kind of how we felt when Jordan did it. Or when Kobe did it and he fucking over there kind of did the Tiger Woods fucking, and his teeth are fucking, you kind of, that brought you back in that mode. Steph Curry is there, and there's the Ray Allens and Robert Horrys, but those guys were just like pieces added to the team, not like the main piece, so now we're just lucky to be around this see this kind of stuff. This is that Barry Bonds, Tom Brady type of athlete that, no one's really we're not going to see no one compare to that in a long, long, long time, just like, they say it's Magic and then Curry. It's going to be a long time for that next guy to come in, after Curry. So, yeah, man, kid's legit. So.
All right, Coach G. Looks like episode 10 coming to a wrap. Any last comments before we head out?
Opening day, when is that starting? Is that soon, right?
Next week.
Damn, man, first pitch.
The Dodgers already 2-0, about to go 162-0. On pace. We're on pace.
Man, man, I'm ready for the baseball season. Can't wait for this shit. It's already a beautiful day today, 80 degrees. In late March. Shout out to my daughter. Yesterday was her 18th birthday. Damn kid's already 18, so we're just talking about that. The day she was born, it was a beautiful day, and smashing out over here, it's freaking 78 degrees, so it's baseball season, man. Crack of the bat.
Yeah.
I was looking at the KPO, was that the Japanese league or the whatever or whatever, I don't know. And Yasiel Puig's leading off for a team. Yeah. Dude, going off, man. So man, baseball season full throttle. Let's get this season going, man. Can't wait to talk about some baseball.
That's gonna be fun, man. I was tripping out because I was like, okay, we played our first 2 games versus the Cubs. Yeah. We had Yamamoto went first. Roki went second.
Yeah.
Then we open up over here in LA with Blake Snell. It's
Jeez.
like, dude, it doesn't. And who's after him? Like, is Ohtani gonna go? Like, this is nuts, dude. Like, who our rotation right now. I mean,
what's great is that they're not even going to be guaranteed to win the World Series. So there's going to be teams that are going to be trying to kick their ass.
Yeah, I know. Well, and that's the same thing that they're saying. Like, we got a target on our back every single night. Like, we have to expect the best from every team every single night.
Did they add any new guys, or is it the same core? Or?
Nah, they got Conforto from the Mets.
Yeah.
We got Blake Snell on there. I mean, actually, we did sign pretty much. We signed Kike again. We signed Tommy Edmond again.
Yeah.
We basically got a whole team coming back.
What happened to Lux? Did he take? Is he somewhere else?
We traded him. I think it was it to Philly? Maybe I think.
No, he's not at Philly.
No, Philly.
Pittsburgh.
To no.
Didn't it seem like he wasn't gonna stick?
Gavin, yeah.
I didn't feel like he was a Dodger guy.
Yeah, no. I mean, he was in the system. I mean, from the beginning, but
yeah.
I don't
like
think.
How are they gonna make it work? You know.
Yeah, I think right when I knew they were gonna shift Mookie to shortstop, I knew he was gonna be out of there. Like, I knew I believe Tommy Edmonds gonna start playing the second base now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I can't wait for this season, and
baseball every day. I can't wait.
Yeah, especially on Prize Picks. We're about to win $1 million on Prize Picks.
Jeez, man.
Gotta bet Ohtani for the over every game.
Yeah, fuck, man. Go on that little Philly run. Yo, shout out to I got a tournament next weekend. The 11-year-old team going back at it. So let's talk next Sunday that these dudes won a championship or something. But
let's go.
But yeah, let's get on it, man. Right on.
All right, and we out.
Yeah.